Chaplain Dave here with your Daily Dally. Letting go of all that stuff. In James chapter 5, verses 1 through 3, "Come now, you rich people, weep and wail over the miseries that are coming on you. Your wealth has rotted and your clothes are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you and will eat your flesh like fire. You have stored up treasure in the last days." I was on YouTube the other day, and there's this kid that does walkthroughs of abandoned places. And this particular video he was doing was of the late gangster John Gotti, who died, and it was his mansion where he lived. And so he's walking, of course, he starts on the outside and goes over all these columns and the brick, and everything's overgrown. There's grass and weeds everywhere. This place is abandoned. I guess his daughter owned it now, and so he goes to go inside, and there's a little bit of furniture, just kind of junk everywhere. And as he's walking through this thing, I'm just thinking to myself, how many dead bodies did it take to pay for that house? How many people were robbed? How many people were hurt to pay for these fixtures? The swimming pool that was outside that had about a quarter of the amount of brown water in it, and roots growing through the plaster. And just looking at this stuff that was collected by an evil man that spent his entire life terrorizing and killing and stealing. And the crazy thing is our society not only honored this guy, worshiped him. There's people wanting him every time he went to court to be out of prison and not get convicted, and he became a celebrity amongst us. And it's the ultimate example of storing up what the scripture that we just talked about. It's the epitome of it, right? He stored up all these things, and here they are, moth-eaten and rotting away. There was abandoned cars in the woods that were, I think there was 5 or 6 cars that were just grown over with grass. And this was like 5 or 7 acres in New York, right? No telling what the land is worth and all that kind of jazz. But if you think about it, how different are we, really? How different are we? I mean, we're no better if we're just simply living to collect things. If we're working hard and our goal is just to get more stuff so that it can be moth-eaten and can end up like that. Now, we're not out killing and stealing. I hope none of you are. But it's still along the same premise if that's our only goal of working hard. Now, the Lord commands us to work hard, to provide for our families. So it's a fine line, right? It's not some easy black and white answer. We need money to eat, to survive, and the Lord provides all those things for us because it's all His anyways. I look at my own journey as whenever I was 17 years old, and I started in the car business at 17, and I remember standing on the porch going, man, if I could just make $5,000 in 1 month, I'd be set for the rest of my life. And I remember having that same conversation with another coworker about 20 years later. I was in the car business for 30 years total, but this was fast forward about 20 years. And I was having that same conversation. I said, man, if I could just make 50 grand this month, I could breathe for a couple of months and catch my breath. And as I'm making $25,000, $30,000 living paycheck to paycheck. And I look at all that moth-eaten stuff that I was collecting because I had put money first in my life. It wasn't about providing for my family. My family was always well taken care of. It was about collecting more things and more stuff that would get eaten away. So our goal and what Jesus wants for us is to live a life of Christianity, to live a life of purpose, to live a life that we're not only doing good for other people, but we're living to serve the Lord in whatever capacity He made you for. Jesus made you for a purpose. He didn't just make you to say, work hard, fill up your garage with a bunch of junk, sell it at a garage sale for 10 cents on the dollar, and then go to the grave. That's not what the Lord made you for. The Lord made you for a purpose. Now, each one of us is different, and it's up to you to have that relationship with Jesus Christ, for He will reveal that purpose to you and what He has in store for you. And I promise you, when it's revealed to you and you're following His path, it's an amazing, amazing journey. It's not easy. I'm not painting rainbows and teddy bears and telling you that you're just going to be able to kick back on your heels, but you will have more fulfillment in your life than you could ever dream of. I love you guys, and remember, love Jesus Christ with all your heart and love your neighbors like you would yourself, and everything's going to be just fine. God bless. Have a wonderful day.